the last week has seen some absolutely just bonkers insanity price bullshit going on, which means that most people will have missed the insane news that actually happened during that same time because they're so caught up in watching the price tank. But let me catch you up because there's been some insane stuff. And aside from the price crash, we've just had one of the most bullish weeks ever in the cryptocurrency markets, at least according to the fundamental news that came out. The first big news, you probably didn't miss this one, you probably missed a lot of the rest of the story. The first big news, you almost can't avoid it, but we need to talk about it, is the executive order that's being proposed by Donald Trump to create a strategic crypto stockpile for the United States. Bitcoin's implicated, Ethereum's implicated, and so far he's named 3 altcoins: XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Cardano, what is up? The beard stays on, Charles. That's hilarious. Others will probably come into a lot of other American-made cryptos, whether we talk about like Movement Labs, whether we talk about like Aptos or Sui, AVAX, stuff like this. Look at what World Liberty Fi has been buying. You're probably going to get an indication of some of the ones that could get a bit of attention here. I'm not saying Tron's going to, but some of these other ones I just mentioned might be worth looking at. Say, for example, as well. Another one, SEI. This is going to be huge. Look, literally, the United States government is going to start at some point, and it's going to happen at some point, but people will have, as usual, over expectation what happens in the very, very short term and not enough bullishness on what's going to happen in the long term regarding all this stuff. But the US government's literally going to come and start buying up some of your altcoin bags. That, along with some of the other stuff happening, is going to absolutely just pump markets like crazy, bringing probably one of the most gargantuan, degenerate altcoin seasons we've ever seen. Or macro just cucks us and we go to zero. Still kind of on the fence about that. But anyway, this is big damn news. The second news, the White House and crypto czar David Sachs, they're putting on a cryptocurrency summit this week. This will be the second, I think, White House sponsored crypto event. The first one, of course, came just a few days before the inauguration. This one, though, is really about getting people from the industry to sit down with the leaders in DC and really hash out some stuff here. So this is big. This is big news. The crypto summit's coming. And just look at the turnaround, right? You went from Biden's regime where they were basically trying to kill crypto, to strangle it to death with Operation Choke Point 2.0 and all the other stuff that they were doing. Lawfare, using the SEC to attack all the most legitimate companies in the damn industry. Total 180 now. Literally, they're having a crypto summit. Obviously, there's a lot of expectation between now and Friday. What are they going to talk about? What's going to be said? What's going to be announced? There's probably going to be a lot of expectation that something really, really big is going to come out of the crypto summit, and then maybe it doesn't, and then the market's kind of like, oh, well, we were expecting something big, and then blah, prices go back down again. But if they do announce something big, moon time. The SEC has dropped its lawsuits against basically everybody at this point. Uniswap, Consensus, Coinbase, Robinhood, XRP at the time of recording still has not had the case dropped against it, but
the Ripple Labs, okay, for the XRP ledger.
That's coming, okay? Look, this is, again, absolutely huge because the SEC under Gary Gensler and the Biden regime, that was very much a situation of lawfare. The new SEC is coming in and saying, you know what, this is dumb. Why are we wasting our taxpayer money pursuing these absolutely frivolous lawsuits against law-abiding companies? All this stuff being thrown out is very good for the industry and signals, again, part of a massive cultural shift in Washington, D.C. towards the cryptocurrency industry, and that is a good thing. Now we're going to start seeing more positive regulation coming out and a lot more good things happening. We also had the SEC coming out and basically saying that meme coins are not securities. Most meme coins, I said, are not securities. If a meme coin comes out and has some kind of, I don't know, expectation of return, like we're going to pay dividends to the meme coin holders or something like that, then, yeah, okay, that could be problematic, right? But other than that, meme coins are not securities. They're dumbass pictures of dogs with hats on, guys. That's it. Hey, real quick, before we get into the next big news about BlackRock and Citadel and others, I want to take a moment to let you know how you can get $50 for free with Phemex, one of the top crypto exchanges. Look, markets go up, markets go down, but you can trade both ways and make money both ways. Even if it feels a bit dirty making money shorting sometimes. And the OG exchange, Phemex, is a great place to do it. It's available to everyone, everywhere. It has deep liquidity, all the top trading pairs, and currently they're running a crazy promotion that you may want to take advantage of. So you get $50 for free just for signing up using the link down below. You'll get a 20% deposit bonus. So you deposit $1,000, get $200 back, as well as a $1,000 trading bonus. Pretty damn cool, right? All you have to do, use the link down below to start your account, and you'll be eligible for all of those bonuses. Go check it out if you're a trader and you want to be trading in the markets and taking advantage of that offer, but also of all the trading opportunities available. Let's continue and let's talk about BlackRock. They are the masters of the freaking universe, man. They do it every time. Now, before I announce the news, I'd like to take a little history lesson here, because back in 2022, BlackRock announced the private fund for Bitcoin, and I think it was August, maybe September of 2022. Now, that was in essence the bottom, or should have been damn close to the bottom. They couldn't have known about the FTX collapse coming and the FTX fraud, so they almost perfectly timed the bottom had it not been for FTX. But they launched this private Bitcoin fund because they knew they were going to launch a Bitcoin ETF bid the next year, but they were letting their private clients get in. Classic shit, isn't it? Well, guess what? BlackRock is back at it again. See, now they're going to start adding their own Bitcoin ETFs to their model portfolio. It's like $150 billion portfolio fund. And remember, they advise a 1% to 2% allocation. So a few billion bucks of Bitcoin will be bought up here by BlackRock. In fact, it was probably bought the other day when prices were in the gutter. I would not be surprised. But it's also huge because, you know, most of the time when people talk about BlackRock Bitcoin ETFs, they say BlackRock's buying Bitcoin. BlackRock's not buying Bitcoin. It's a terrible narrative that gets repeated far too often. And I even slip up and just, you know, I'll go, how about BlackRock's buying? Customers are buying BlackRock Bitcoin ETFs. People like you and me, institutions, funds, all that kind of stuff. They go and buy BlackRock ETFs. BlackRock then sources the Bitcoin, creates the paper contracts, and bada bing, bada boom, okay? BlackRock themselves as a company have not really been buying Bitcoin, but now they are. For their funds, which again, people invest in publicly, right? It's not like, again, BlackRock's creating its own strategic reserve of Bitcoin. At least they have not publicly said anything about that. I wouldn't be surprised if Larry, the big man, master of the universe, Fink there, has his own little secret stash of Bitcoins. Would you be surprised? I would not be surprised. In fact, I bet he does. Anyway, different conversation. Let's talk about the Citadel news, because this is really big too. Now, in case you don't know who Citadel is, they're one of the biggest hedge funds out there, $70 billion assets under management or some BS like that. These guys are going to get into the crypto liquidity provider game. Now, that's really big news because, again, this is a massive TradFi Wall Street fund that's going to start playing the liquidity game in crypto. Now, again, you can't cross Wall Street. They're not here for you. They're not here for the revolution, that kind of stuff. But neither are the market makers that exist in crypto right now. They're mercenary companies who don't give a shit about you or the markets or anything else. They're here to make a buck. We deserve a better class of criminal. And that's what Citadel's bringing, I guess. Other big news here. Altcoin ETFs are coming. Remember that big change around the SEC? Well, we're going to get altcoin ETFs. I've been talking about this story a lot. And this is going to bring huge liquidity into the markets. The most likely first 4 altcoin ETFs are going to be Litecoin, XRP, Dogecoin, and Solana, but we also got ETF applications in for Cardano, for Polkadot, for HBAR, and others. A lot of ETF applications in out there. We're going to see these things bringing in probably tens of billions of dollars of liquidity and new capital into the altcoin market specifically through the ETF products. And then on-chain people or on-exchange people like you and me can then sell into that exit liquidity for the altcoins. That's the idea anyway. Next big story. Citibank, State Street. They're both looking to launch a crypto custody service. These are both companies that have trillions of dollars, whatever, of assets under management. They are big, big deals in case you haven't heard of them, right? These guys are getting into the crypto custody service game. That's big news. Again, massive Wall Street firms, massive TradFi bro terms. Like, it's just absolutely big, big stuff, okay? That's really good to see. Again, just another massive amount of social proofing for the entire cryptocurrency industry. Then we have Bank of America saying that they're probably going to launch a stablecoin as soon as they get that regulatory bill passed in Washington, which they're working on a stablecoin bill right now. Is that the Genius Act? Is that it? As soon as it happens, Bank of America is going to launch their own damn stablecoin. One of the biggest banks in the world is going to launch a stablecoin. Crypto's going to zero, man. No. Come on. Long-term bullish. Yeah, short-term, we tend to overestimate what happened. Long-term, going to be massive. Then we have U.S. states, and this is the final bit of news you might have missed. We have U.S. states that are progressing with bills in their local senates and stuff like that to buy Bitcoin as strategic reserve for the states. Now, it's already been shot down in a few states like Pennsylvania. Come on, Pennsylvania, man. Pennsylvania, they shot the bill down. Pennsylvania will not be buying any Bitcoin at this time, but other states are looking like they're probably going to. Utah is actually currently leading. Arizona very close behind. Texas also looking like it's probably going to. I'd imagine Florida's probably going to as well. There's a few other states that I think are pretty high contenders. So no, obviously it's not going to be every state in the United States, states, but maybe we're going to get 10 states that end up buying Bitcoin, which these states have collectively probably a few $1 trillion in their state treasury funds. It's a lot of money that could come into Bitcoin, even if they allocate half a percentage point or something like that. So we'll see what plays out here. But this is bullish. This is big bullish news, because that starts happening, and then other countries and states and cities around the world are going to look at that and go, shit, maybe we should buy some more Bitcoin. And of course, that's on the back of the news that we got a few days ago, that Abu Dhabi, one of the big wealth funds down the road here, they have bought about $500 billion worth of Bitcoin via Bitcoin ETFs. So big things happening out here, guys. Don't lose sight of the big picture. Don't lose sight of the forest from the trees. Thanks for watching.